Such projects include infrastructure projects in the FCT cut by 7.5 billion naira, additional security measures for UN building cut by 3.9 billion naira, health sector facilities cut by 7.45 billion naira, security infrastructure for 104 unity schools cut by 3 billion naira, amongst others.
At a time when we are working with labor to address compensation-related issues, a total of 5 billion naira was cut from the provision for pension redemption fund and public service wage adjustment. H. The provision for export expansion grant and special economic zone industrial parks, which are key industrialization initiatives of this administration, were cut by a total of 14.5 billion naira. I. The provision for construction of the terminal building at Enugu Airport was cut from 2 billion naira to 500 million naira, which will further delay the completion of this critical project. The take-up grant for the Maritime University in Delta State, a key strategic initiative of the federal government, was cut from 5 billion naira to 3.4 billion naira. K. About 70 new road projects have been inserted into the budget of the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing. In doing so, the National Assembly applied some of the additional funds expected from the upward review of the oil price benchmark to the Ministry's vote. Regrettably, however, in order to make provision for some of the new roads, the amounts allocated to some strategic major roads have been cut by the National Assembly. However, being a deficit budget, the borrowing plan will be forwarded to the National Assembly shortly. I crave the indulgence of the National Assembly for a speedy consideration and approval of the plan. The 218 budget I have just signed into law provides for aggregate expenditure of 9.12 trillion naira, which is 22.6% higher than the 2017 appropriation. Further details of the approved budget will be provided by the Minister of Budget and National Planning.
The Deputy Senate leader, Senator BALA, is not comfortable with the president's claims.
It's a very delicate issue. If somebody says he wants 500 billion for maintenance of bridges nationwide, and then you expect the National Assembly to say, okay, that budget is approved because it's coming from the executive, we have not done our work. We will be interested in knowing which of the roads are you going to maintain, so that, again, we don't give another allocation in the next budget.
Rounding off the ceremony, the president promises to send a supplementary budget to the National Assembly immediately. "24 hours after President Buhari signed the 2018 budget into law, top government functionaries, heads of parastatals and Nigerians from all walks of life meet over the breakdown of the budget.
Implementation of a number of reforms, including significant spending on critical infrastructure, provided the necessary stimulus for the economy. And it is this spending, the expansionary fiscal policy and fiscal stance of this government, together with the various measures that we put in place, that led to the economy emerging from recession by the end of the second quarter of 2017.
Mr. UDOMA tells how the 2018 budget will be funded through aggressive revenue generation.
The 2018 revenue projections reflect new funding mechanism for joint venture operations, allowing for cost recovery in lieu of previous cash call arrangements, additional oil-related revenues, including royalty recovery new marginal field licenses, early licensing renewals, and so on, review of the fiscal regime of oil production sharing contracts, restructuring of government's equity in joint venture oil assets, with proceeds to be reinvested in other assets.
The Director General of the Budget Office, Dr. Ben Akabweze, is quick to assure that the 2019 budget will not take long before it is passed and approved by the Executive.
The fact that this event is holding just a day after the budget was signed underscores the seriousness we attach to what we have come to do here today, as well as the sense of urgency with which we must now approach the execution of this budget.